All right, welcome to another deep dive. Today we're really going to dig into a concept that's, well, it's pretty transformative for a lot of people. We're looking at James Clear's Atomic Habits, specifically Chapter 2. You know, the one, how your habits shape your identity and vice versa.
Yeah, it's a big one. Really foundational to his whole approach.
Exactly. So our mission today, let's try and unpack the hidden lever for making changes that actually stick.
Okay.
Because if you've ever felt like, changing habits is just this constant uphill struggle.
Which most of us have, right?
Right. Or maybe your New Year's resolutions kind of just evaporate by February.
Oh, yeah. Familiar story.
This deep dive is basically your shortcut to understanding why that happens, and how maybe we can shift gears.
Sounds good.
For a lot of readers, this chapter is that real aha moment. It just reframes everything about building better habits.
It really does shift the perspective.
So let's jump right in. The big question, why? Why do so many of us struggle so much to make habits stick? Clear kicks off the chapter saying, well, most of us are actually focusing on the wrong thing completely.
That's the core of it, isn't it? We get stuck because the usual way is to focus on the what.
The outcomes.
Yeah, exactly. The outcomes. Like, I want to lose 20 pounds or I need to save more money this year, stuff like that.
The goals.
But Clear argues that this misses the really crucial point. It ignores who we need to become.
The identity piece.
Yeah, the identity, the deeper beliefs that are actually driving what we do.
Yeah.
It's not just about the destination, like he says. It's about the person making the journey.
Makes sense.
And Clear really makes this powerful case. He says, our struggle often boils down to two things. One, we try to change the wrong thing.
Okay.
And two, we try to change our habits in the wrong way, which, really challenges a lot of the standard self-improvement advice we've heard for years.
Okay, so if we're aiming at the wrong target, how does he help us see where the real leverage is? He uses that analogy, right? The onion.
Yeah, the onion. It's actually a brilliant way to visualize it. Really helps break it down.
So how does that work?
Okay, so picture an onion. Think about peeling it from the outside in.
Got it.
The outcomes layer is the skin, the very outside. That's all about results, losing the weight, getting the promotion, running the marathon.
Well, most people start.
Exactly. That's where most of us begin, setting those goals without really looking deeper.
Okay, layer 2.
Peel that back and you hit the processes layer. This is about the systems, the actual habits themselves.
Like going to the gym, the budgeting plan, the writing schedule.
Precisely, that kind of stuff. Now, focusing here is definitely better than just dreaming about outcomes, but it's still not the absolute core.
So the center is?
The center. That's the identity layer. This is the heart of it all. Your beliefs, your assumptions, your worldview, the stuff that really drives your behavior deep down. And Clear argues this is where lasting change actually comes from, and that's the huge shift, Instead of the usual outside-in thinking outcomes, then maybe processes, then maybe identity.
If you even get that far.
Right. He flips it. He advocates for an inside-out approach. Start with identity. Start with who you want to be.
And that leads right into, I think, the most powerful idea in the chapter, that line. The ultimate form of intrinsic motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity.
Yes. That's the game changer. Just pause and think about that.
It really reframes everything.
It's a profound shift.
Yeah.
So instead of just saying, I want to run a marathon, which is external, a goal out there, the identity approach starts with, I am a runner.
That feels different, even just saying it.
It feels totally different. And that small phrasing change reflects a massive internal shift. And what's really cool is how he connects habits back to identity.
How so?
He says your habits are basically reflections of your identity. Every single thing you do acts as evidence for who you believe you are.
Okay, give me an example.
So if you consistently go for a run, you're not just like burning calories. You're reinforcing the identity. I am a runner.
Okay.
But if you skip the workout, you're kind of accidentally reinforcing the opposite identity. I'm someone who skips workouts.
And he has that voting metaphor, right, which makes it so clear.
Yes, the voting metaphor is brilliant. Your identity emerges out of your habits.
Yeah.
Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become.
I love that.
And the kicker is, you don't need a unanimous vote. You don't need perfection. You just need a majority.
Just win the election for that identity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You win the election by accumulating enough evidence, one small vote, one small action at a time.
Okay, so that sounds great in theory,
Yeah.
but how do you actually do it, like practically?
Right. The how. Clear boils it down to a really simple, elegant two-step process.
Okay.
Step 1, decide the type of person you want to be. Really define it.
Get clear on that identity.
Get clear on the identity. And step 2, prove it to yourself with small wins.
Small wins, not giant leaps.
Small, consistent wins. It means asking yourself that crucial question. Who is the type of person that could achieve the outcome I want?
Okay.
So for example, instead of just focusing on lose weight, you ask, what would a healthy person do right now?
Ah, okay. Shift the question.
Shift the question. Then you just consistently make choices that align with that identity. You know, a healthy person maybe chooses water over soda.
Or takes the stairs.
Or takes the stairs. Yeah. Exactly. Those are the small daily votes that start to shift the identity.
And this feels like it leads into another huge insight from this chapter, that relationship between habits and identity isn't just one way, right?
Absolutely not. It's bidirectional. It's a loop.
A loop, explain that.
Okay, so Clear highlights this really powerful feedback loop. Your identity, who you believe you are, drives your habits and makes certain actions feel natural.
Right. I'm a runner, so I run.
Exactly. But then, in turn, your habits, the running, reinforce your identity as a runner.
Ah, so it feeds back on itself.
It totally feeds back. It creates this self-reinforcing cycle. And that cycle can work for you, building up a positive identity. Or it can work against you, reinforcing one you don't want.
Wow.
Every action becomes evidence. It either strengthens your self-concept or weakens it. And that makes the next action either easier or harder. It's like this constant dialogue between who you think you are and what you actually do.
Okay, so let's unpack what this means for us, for anyone trying to change. What are the big strengths here compared to just, like, setting goals?
Well, there are a few big ones.
First off, I see intrinsic motivation. If it's part of who you are, you don't need someone nagging you, right? It comes from inside.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It becomes self-sustaining. That's true intrinsic motivation.
And consistency seems like another one. Things feel more natural, less forced if they align with this is just who I am.
Yeah, consistency definitely improves. It feels less like effort and more like just being you.
And resilience. What about when you slip up?
That's a huge advantage because the focus isn't on maintaining a perfect streak, which is brittle.
Right. One missed day can derail everything.
Exactly. But with identity focus, a temporary setback doesn't fundamentally change who you are becoming. The focus stays on reinforcing that core identity over the long haul. You just cast the next vote.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But are there any downsides or, like, challenges with this approach?
Yeah, it's good to have a balanced view. It's powerful, but there are things to consider.
Like what?
Well, first, there's what you might call identity flexibility. This whole method kind of relies on you being willing to challenge your existing self-concept.
Which can be hard.
It can be really hard, psychologically challenging for some people to say, maybe who I thought I was isn't who I want to be.
Okay, what else?
Cultural context can sometimes play a role. A desired identity, say, being more assertive, might clash with certain social or family expectations.
Right, external pressures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that might require some extra thought or navigation. And finally, it's important to remember, this is usually a gradual process.
Not overnight.
Definitely not. Identity shifts happen slowly, vote by vote, through that accumulated evidence. And that might frustrate people looking for, a quick fix or rapid transformation. Patience is key.
But those real-world examples are just so convincing. I'm thinking of the story Clear tells about the woman who lost over 100 pounds.
Oh, yeah. That's a powerful one.
She didn't fixate on the scale, right? She just kept asking herself.
What would a healthy person do?
Exactly. And the weight loss was almost like a side effect of her becoming that person. It really shows the power in just asking that different question.
It absolutely does. And it perfectly illustrates that core message Clear keeps coming back to. He says, the real reason habits matter is not because they can get you better results, although they can do that, but because they can change your beliefs about yourself.
That shift in belief. That's the real transformation.
That's the sustainable, deep change. That's where the power lies.
So thinking about the whole book, Atomic Habits, where does this chapter fit in? How important is it overall?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. You could argue it's the bedrock. It's the foundation for everything else he builds upon.
The why behind the how.
Kind of, yeah. It's the psychological infrastructure,
Yeah.
The mindset shift that's needed for all the later strategies, the 4 laws of behavior change, to actually work long-term.
Right. Because without this identity piece, the other stuff could just feel like tips and tricks.
Exactly. Like disconnected tactics. They often fail. because they're just treating symptoms, the unwanted habits, rather than the root cause, which is often tied to identity.
It's like putting a Band-Aid on a deeper issue.
Perfect analogy. But if you focus on identity first, then all the habit-building stuff aligns naturally. It feels coherent. You're not fighting yourself anymore.
It makes the whole process feel less like forcing something and more like becoming something.
Precisely. Effortless, almost, over time.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive then. Chapter 2 of Atomic Habits really does fundamentally reframe how we think about habit formation. It shifts it from just a mechanical process,
Tick the box, do the thing.
right, to something much deeper. An evolution of identity. It's not just about doing different things. It's about becoming a different type of person.
The kind of person whose natural, everyday behaviors just happen to align with the outcomes you want.
And the lasting impact of getting this insight is huge, isn't it? It changes your whole relationship with personal change.
It really does. It moves you away from that feeling of constantly having to force yourself to do things.
Which is exhausting.
Totally exhausting. And moves you towards genuinely becoming someone new, step by step.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening to ponder on. How might just one tiny daily vote, one small action for the person you want to become, how might that, over time, fundamentally reshape your entire path, far beyond just hitting one specific goal?
That's the real potential, isn't it?
Yeah.
Small votes, big changes.